Hey, what's going on, guys? Bobo here. In this video, I'm going to be covering the top meme coins of 2025, and I'm going to be doing a tier list with over 50 coins. It's going to be a lot of fun, but I got to go kind of quick to get through them all because, it is a long list. But before I get started, I just want to say that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only. Y'all already know that meme coins are super high risk. So yeah, just don't go all in on meme coins and have some fun. And they can be extremely profitable. Last year, I made over $1 million trading meme coins. If you want to see a video on that, a little bit more, I'll put that above. But before we jump into the list, I just want to look at Bitcoin real quick because it's, affects every coin. We are in Q4 of the year after the Bitcoin halving, which is typically when the top has came in the past. So I think we should at least be open to the idea of the top being in. If you look at Bitcoin on the weekly chart, you can see this beautiful trend line connecting from the top of the 2017 top to the 2021 to the 2025 potential top. We don't know. I'm being pretty cautious here. I do have, I'm still holding coins. I did buy the recent liquidation dip. I put that in my group. But closes below the 50-week moving average, I would be a lot more cautious because I definitely don't want to bag hold this. I've learned my lesson in the past. But yeah, I think this trend line will be strong resistance. I do think we do have a couple more months for the altcoins to run. I do think that's going to happen because that's what's happened in the past. All right, now with that out of the way, we'll get into the list. So first up, we do have Fartcoin. Fartcoin was actually created by Truth Terminal, which is basically two language models talking back and forth. But actually in September, Truth Terminal said that Fartcoin is kind of old news, and it showed this new coin called Mindworms. So being that the Truth Terminal created Fartcoin and it's not bullish on it and the chart doesn't look great, I'm going to put Fartcoin in B tier, and that's going to be controversial. I do think it's a funny coin. I like it. And next up, we do have the Aztec. And I do like this meme a lot. They say the only thing that can turn a guy's head faster than a pretty girl is a Lamborghini. And the Aztec has both of those. So I like the mimetic value and, getting people's attention. I'm going to put Aztec at A tier. Next up, we have Pepe. Pepe is one of my favorite memes. I think it's one of the most natural memes and most used memes of all of crypto. I think anything less than S tier would be disingenuous, honestly. Pepe is, in my opinion, probably the best meme in the market, in my opinion. There's nothing really better than Pepe. Pepe is definitely S tier, in my opinion. Next up, we have Toshi. Ooh, this is a controversial one. I personally am a big fan of Toshi. So whenever I joined Coinbase, I signed up for Coinbase One, they actually allowed me to mint a Toshi NFT. And every month, because I have the Coinbase premium membership, I actually get Toshi sent to my wallet every month. It's just a little bit, but the partnership of Toshi with Coinbase is huge in my opinion. And the two top memes on Coinbase are Toshi and Brett. And Coinbase leadership, it kind of seems like they don't want Brett to do well. In a lot of their posts, they say which coin on Base has the strongest community. And you'll see Toshi with a bunch of smaller memes, and they won't even list Brett. So it seems like they don't want Brett to survive, which is, in my opinion, a shame because I actually liked Brett and, Crash. And this was a huge coin to get attention to the Coinbase blockchain. But, for whatever reason, well, actually, I know kind of what the reasons, but, being that it was launched in an inorganic way, they don't like it. So anyways, I believe that elevates Toshi because I don't think they want Brett to do well. So in my opinion, the top meme on the Base blockchain, backed by Coinbase, Toshi is S tier. So that's kind of a more recent development. I wasn't as bullish on Toshi until recently. But next up, we have Peanut the Squirrel. And this cute little squirrel was actually killed by an environmental agency. They had to euthanize it. I think it bit one of the inspectors on a home raid or something. But this went super viral. Elon Musk showed it. Huge attention, but in my opinion, that news story is over. Stuff like this that had a huge news event and a lot of attention, but I don't think Peanut's ever going to go back to a new all-time high. I think it's over, absolutely over. It could have recovery pumps, but in my opinion, I'm not touching Peanut. Next up, we have 4. All right, I really like this one. So when I think of the Binance Smart Chain, I think of CZ and him holding up that 4. So as far as BNB coins, 4, I'm not going to put it as S tier because it's a new coin. I don't think it's going to, it'll probably be here multiple cycles, but being that's a new coin, I'm going to put it at A tier. Next, we have FWOG. This was actually created by a really good artist. I like the artist. I believe his name is What. And this coin has done really well in the past, but honestly, I think it's pretty much over for this. The creator of this is creating a new NFT project. So, he's splitting his attention between multiple projects. I'm not going to say it's over because I do like it. I'm going to put it at C tier. Giga Chad is next up on the list. I'm a big Giga Chad fan. I think this is one of the best memes, honestly. If you go even to like many Discord servers, the roles that they assign will be like Giga Chad. For example, in the Pudgy Penguins Discord, Giga Chad is actually one of the top roles you can get. So being that Giga Chad is such a commonly used phrase and just a good meme, I'm going to put this at A tier. Really good meme, just before the ass stack. And that's also listed on Coinbase, which is, a pretty big deal. Next up, we have Uranus. Now, this one kind of broke my heart. This was the top coin in the Jupiter ecosystem. Meow and a lot of the leadership there were shilling this, but for whatever reason, they kind of just stopped shilling it. And ever since, it's kind of been dead. I think I stopped out on this with like 32 million. So this is very dependent on the leadership of the Jupiter ecosystem shilling it. So for that reason, I'm going to put it at B tier because I do like the meme. Uranus is a great meme. I can see Elon shilling this and it's just a very, very good name. But because it's not being showed by the right people, I'm going B tier. Next up, Dapper Doggos. This was a newer project. And, in these market conditions, if a project can even hold above 1 million for like weeks, that's very impressive to me. So I really like the art of Dapper Doggos. The chart's not great, but you got to factor in the market conditions and when this launched. They do have like a really good profile picture maker on the website. So I'm going to put Dapper Doggos as A tier. You can't justify S tier being a new coin. There's just so many things that could still happen with this project, but it has a lot of potential. I'm going S tier. It's a micro cap, so a lot of upside could still be there, but also higher risk. Dog and Me. Ooh, this is one of my favorite projects that's listed on Coinbase. It's a metaphor of, kind of like you got that dog in you, that fight. And I haven't seen that done yet, so I'm going to put this at A tier. I really like that. It's unique. Chill Guy. All right, TikTok meme. I'm not gonna lie, I missed the pump on Chill Guy, and this thing went way higher than I ever expected. But I believe it's over now. Like, it's not that good, and it's never going back to an all-time high. And there's a lot of bag holders. I wouldn't buy Chill Guy. I think it's over for Chill Guy. Ooh, all right. Next up, we got Neat. This is one of my favorite memes, and I wish I had a bag, but I don't. I'm looking for a dip on Neat to add. In the bear market, I'm definitely grabbing a bag of Neat because I love this. This stands for Not an Employment, Education, or Training. And this actually came out of the UK. Like a lot of the people on covering the news were saying that a lot of the youth, they weren't looking for jobs. They weren't even in like education or college or whatever. So they called these guys Neats. And this meme coin has kind of adopted the name and owned it as like they're not buying into the capitalist system of going to work your life away. They're just chilling and doing their own thing. Very much bro vibes. I really like Neat. Neat's going A tier. Anything less than A tier would be just wrong in my opinion. Next up, Disco. This is also a newer coin, a Matt Fury creation. Now, this is going to be controversial. I do not like newer Matt Fury coins. I like the Boys Club, and that's about it. Especially because Matt Fury is still alive, still creating artwork. It's kind of like, vintage art. When the artist, passes away, the art's worth more. But being that Matt Fury is still pumping out art, I don't like any coins outside of the Boys Club. So I'm going to put Disco. They do have a strong community. I'll give them that. And there's a lot of people that I like that are promoting this. So I'm going to move it from C. I'm going to move it at B tier. Disco's a B tier meme in my opinion. And it's already over 1 million, so I'm not buying Disco, but I can see why people like it. I don't think it's all that mimetic, to be honest. I like other Matt Fury memes better. When you got stuff like, Pepe. Pepe's on it. Is at good prices now. I would just buy Pepe, instead of any other Matt Fury meme. So it's my opinion. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, and I'm gonna get some hate for that, but that's all right. That's why it's my tier list, So, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. So I know why I should move it higher or why you like it more. For me, it just looks like an angry zucchini. I don't really get it. But next up, we have AIXBT. Now, I think this is around 50 million market cap. This came out of the Virtuals Eco, and I really like it. Actually, I follow this account on Twitter, and it has like better alpha than anybody. So, but being that Chart doesn't look great, and AI agents, I think they're going to come back. I'm going to put this at B tier. I do like AI XBT a lot, and it's memetic, being that a lot of people see it on X. It's always at the top of mind. I see it like literally every day, even if I don't want to. So AI XBT, I'm putting at B tier. Next, we have Biddy. All right. So this is actually on the Bitcoin.org website. I'm very bullish on Biddy. I like Biddy. I'm going to go A tier. The only reason I think it could be better, you know, if it was on Bitcoin, because it's a Bitcoin mascot, you would think it would be like maybe like a rune. But there's just not much volume on Bitcoin. So I think it makes sense on Solana because it has, you know, the most liquidity. And degens don't care as much as, you know, Bitcoin purists. And the Bitcoin purists aren't going to buy memes anyways. So Biddy's going A tier for me. So next, we have the International Meme Fund. And I actually called this around $13,000 market cap, and it went to about 1.4 million. I think it was around 127x. And that was, you know, in the past month. That's pulled back a bit. I think it's still up about 40x from when I called it. The chart looks all right. You know, in these market conditions, you can't expect stuff to just keep running forever. There's just not that much volume and not as many traders. So this is a play on the International Monetary Fund, and it's a bailout meme. So basically they give away the pump swap fees to community members in like a Twitter share type way, which Twitter giveaways are kind of like the most viewed posts on Twitter. So I think this is memetic. So a play on the IMF, good memetic value. I'm going to put IMF at A tier. I do think it's pretty good. Just behind, I think it should be behind Biddy. It's very good. It has a huge potential because it's only at like $350,000 market cap. I think this can go much higher. I'm going to keep talking about it because I like it. So the IMF is going A tier. Next, we have Bonk. And I believe, aside from Pudgy Penguins, this is the highest market cap meme coin on Solana. They're kind of neck and neck. You know, these guys have their own launch pad. They're one of the first Solana memes. You got to go for A tier on Bonk. I'm going to go just behind Giga Chad. I really do like Bonk. I think it's a good meme. Next up, we do have Bobo. And this is like an OG 4chan meme. Chart is down a lot. It didn't run as hard as some other coins. I do think it's really good though. I like Bobo, especially at this market cap. I'm going to go A tier on Bobo. It's a very good meme. And it's commonly used on like organically on websites. So I'm going to go A tier on Bobo. Next, we have TBC, the Trencher Broadcasting Company. And this is one of the first projects to really use the newer AIs to put out good videos on news stories relating to stuff that was relevant in crypto in the trenches. And I found this actually the first day it launched. I really liked it. It pumped a lot. It's come back down. I think it's actually a good buy. And, you know, Elon has shared it. You know, the Pump.fund founder has shared it in a lot of his material. So, you know, a lot of people in the Pump ecosystem know about this. I really like TBC. I'm going to go A tier. It's good. It's a very good meme. I really like the videos. Not many projects doing that. It's very high effort. Next, we have Brett. Now, Brett at one point, I believe, was one of the best memes. I still think it has a lot of potential. I think it was treated very unfairly by Base leadership. I think Brett makes sense on Base. It's blue. Everything was really good. It brought so many people onto the Base blockchain. But because the leadership there just doesn't like Brett for, you know, whatever reasons, I got to put it at B tier until they get that Coinbase listing. You know, you can't be the top meme coin on Base if Coinbase doesn't list you. It just doesn't make sense. So until that happens, I got to put it at B tier. I'm really hoping the best for these guys because I like them. I like Crash. He's one of the best KOLs in the space. So yeah, that's my opinion on Brett. Next, we have Unstable Coin, USDUC. USDUC, you know, it's pretty high market cap already. I believe it's like 30 million. You know, I would have liked to get into this earlier. I think it's a good meme being that stablecoin meta is, you know, huge for this cycle. Stablecoins are going to be massive going forward and a catalyst for crypto adoption. But I don't think it's that memetic. You know, I don't see people like using it organically in a funny way. And I think it's already pretty high. So for that reason, I'm going to put USDUC. I know it's going to be controversial. I'm going to put it at B tier. Next, we have Dogecoin, the OG. And guys, come on. Dogecoin has to be S tier. This is literally the OG meme coin of crypto. This is going to be the first meme coin to get an ETF. It's very bullish. You know, Elon Musk showed this. Everyone in the world knows about Dogecoin. And, you know, one of the downsides of people said, you know, there's no one really pushing Dogecoin. There's no marketing engine. But I have seen companies and people actually working on ways to use Dogecoin. So I think it's just going to get better going forward. I think it's a safer play. It's going to be here multiple cycles. You know, you can't put something in S tier if it's not going to survive multiple cycles, in my opinion. these memes will all be here next cycle, in my opinion. Next, we have Dog, and this is a really interesting project. I actually got this during the airdrop. Basically, if you held a runestone, you were airdrop Dog. The distribution on this is really good. It's the top meme coin actually on the mother chain, Bitcoin. So Dog, in my opinion, is a really good meme. I like it. Leonidas has a lot of following and influence. They've been listed, they've got some better listings. Top meme coin on Bitcoin. I mean, you got to put that at A tier. Next, we have Troll. And I like Troll because people actually use it in the real world. It's a very popular meme. It is a little high. It's one of the top meme coins on the pump.fun eco. I'm going to go A tier here. I really like Troll. I think it's funny. Next, we have Cupsy. So this is the pump.fun mascot. There's two different coins. There's Pumpy and Cupsy. Cupsy has a little better chart, so I would probably buy that one. There's two communities fighting for the same meme. So I'm going to go, Cupsy is good. I don't like it that much. I don't think it's that funny. I'm going to go A tier. Next, we have Moodang. And this was a baby hippo that was born and went super viral, but kind of like Peanut the Squirrel. I believe it had its time in the day, and, it's not that funny or mimetic. And, he's not going to be here forever even. I'm going to go C tier on Moodang. Next, we have Floki. And this is actually the name of Elon Musk's dog. And this is on the Binance Smart Chain. This has done great on every cycle. And, Elon Musk shows Floki memes, or he posts about memes with Floki. So I think this is a really good meme. I'm going to go A tier. I do like it. And last cycle, I caught a great Floki pump, so I'm a little biased. So yeah, Floki's a great meme. Next, we have Ponky. And this was very popular, 6 months to, 8 months ago. I think it kind of had its day, time of day. I don't know if it'll make a new all-time high. The content for this project is pretty good, but it kind of lost its momentum. I'm going to go B tier on Ponky. I do like it though. I think it could come back, honestly. Housecoin, this is great because right now, millennials and a lot of people just can't afford houses. They didn't pick the right meme coins. They're down bad. So now they got to buy Housecoin. So the narrative is very good. Everyone can relate to it. The chart doesn't look good, but I think it's going to come back. I think Housecoin is one that, even if it dips more, someone's going to pump it eventually. So Housecoin, I'm going to go top of B tier. Lofi. Lofi is the top meme coin on the Sui blockchain. Very bullish on Sui. They have great partnerships. Very fast blockchain. I'm going to go A tier on Lofi. Very good. Very good. It should be actually pretty high, actually. It's a good coin. I think it's down a lot from all-time highs, and I think this will come back when Sui gets that pump, which I do expect at the end of the year. SPX 6900. This coin actually really changed meme coins. This coin and Murad, combined, really changed the way that people think about meme coins, and so you got to go S tier on SPX 6900. Murad is one of the best KOLs in the space. When you think of SPX 6900, you just think of Murad. Really, the first token to tokenize like a stock index. Everyone knows the SPX, but for the younger generation, it's already so high. It's going to be hard for them to make life-changing gains like, previous generations did. So SPX 6900 is very funny, and I do like it a lot. I'm going S tier. One of the only S tier memes, in my opinion. Next, we have Cat and Mask. And this is it's a funny meme. It's Cat and a Mask. I think it actually came from like an old video game. It pumped a lot initially, and the chart hasn't been great. I don't think it's that funny. Cat and Mask, but it does have a kind of a cult community, so that's one thing going for it. But the chart doesn't really reflect that. I'm gonna go B tier on Cat and Mask. I do like it, but I'm not gonna buy it. So yeah, and it pumped a lot, and ever since then it's kind of been So yeah, that's my ranking of that one. Meow. Or Kitacoin. This is supposedly has as a direct Dogecoin competitor. It does have roots in the Bitcoin Talk forum back in the day. So it does have history and early crypto lore. So I do like that a lot. And being that there aren't too many good cat coins, I do think it's decent. I'm gonna go B tier with this one. Next we have Mr. Miggles. This is a really good meme. So Coinbase actually uses this cat a lot in their marketing material, which is why I think it has a potential. I'm actually going to go A tier on Mr. Miggles, one of the lower cat meme coins on Base that I think has a lot of upside potential. I'm going to put it right behind Troll. Next, we have Mog. And the Mog saying is kind of something that's popular with the younger generation. basically if you mog someone, you just really outdo them, you outshine them. So like if it's like a good looking person next to like an ugly person, they say, oh, they're mogging you, you know? It had a really good pump, and it does have a big community. I think it could make a comeback. I don't love it. I used to be more bullish on it. I think it's not as fresh anymore. I'm gonna go B tier here, but it's one of the better B tier memes. Maybe the top B tier. Next we have Momo, and this is marketed as the first female Shiba Inu, being that there's really not many coins that appeal to female investors. Momo is supposed to be that coin. It did have a crazy pump. CoinTalk CEO showed this. I think it did it did crazy numbers, hundreds of X's. The logo is all right. I like the ticker that's nice and short. Being that they kind of also say that it's Bonk's sister, but I haven't found any, facts backing that. So Momo, it's already at like 5-6 million. I don't think it has that much upside from here, to be honest with you. It does have a crazy community though, but I think it's a good meme. I do like Momo, but personally, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm going to put it as B tier, personally. Next, we have Nero. And this is basically the dog, that was bought by the former Dogecoin owners. This was huge when it first launched, and there was multiple coins PvPing each other. Like actually, there was 2 coins on Solana that I think they were in the billions, honestly. One went to $1 billion, I think. But the one on ETH ended up winning. It's a little bit cabalish in my opinion. I don't think it's that funny or mimetic. I'm going to go C tier on, actually, I'm going to go over on Nero. I wouldn't touch this thing, honestly. NPC, I like a lot. I think this is similar levels of like Giga Chad and Troll, in my opinion. A very good meme. NPC is just such a common phrase in crypto. When people don't think for themselves, they say, oh, NPC behavior. I like this a lot. I'm going to go right behind Troll for this one. Next, we have Pudgy Penguins. Ooh, this is an interesting one. So I really like the founder of this project and what they do. They actually airdrop. This is one of the largest crypto airdrops as far as wallets ever. I actually claimed this on like 14 wallets, I think, and I've never done anything in the Pudgy Penguins ecosystem before that. So these guys have made a lot of people rich. I know a lot of people will say, don't buy VC-backed coins, but Pudgy Penguins is a little different. They've really over-delivered for their community, and they have made a lot of people rich. That said, they do have token vesting coming in mid-December. So for that reason, I think it's a good hold for like, the next, couple months. But when we go into the bear market, I think this thing will kind of get annihilated, to be quite honest. I love Pudgy Penguins though. I'm going to put A tier, one of the best in memes in my opinion, just because they have a great marketing engine. The meme is great. The community is great. Cult community, very good. Next up, we have All Will Retire. Now, this is just such a clean and easy narrative to understand. All will retire. I really like the devs of this project. Even whenever I was starting my, social profiles, these guys reached out to me very early, followed me, and KOLs love that when like smaller projects or bigger projects will reach out to them, even when they're smaller, influencers, and connect with them. That's very bullish. The devs work hard, very active. I like these guys a lot. This is a very organic community. They show faces of their community members. All will retire has to go A tier. Definitely one of the best in my opinion. Now there is another retire coin on Solana, which is I don't love. I want to see one clear winner and then retire narrative. But in my opinion, I would buy All Will Retire because the other one seems a little bit cabalish to me and kind of just showed because it's in the pump folio and showed by Shadow and other KOLs. Next we have Popcat. All right, this is an interesting meme off of Oatmeal the cat. Basically, the cat opened its mouth very wide. It looked like a circle. And people added like the pop sound. It's kind of funny. Popcat had a crazy pump. I mean, I wouldn't buy it now, even though it's down a lot. I don't think it's that funny or mimetic, but I'm gonna go. It could go A tier. I think it's gonna have relevance for a long time. To honestly, I'm gonna go top of B tier. Could be A. Actually, we'll go end of A tier. Next, we have Redo. So this is the top meme coin on the Ton blockchain, which is Telegram's blockchain. And at one point, they actually had this as their profile picture. So Redo, I think, can actually have a crazy pump. I need to see what market cap it's at, but this actually could be one that's good to buy if it's real low. I think this could definitely make another pump. I'm gonna go top of B tier for Redo. I do like it a lot. I think it's a good one to look into. Next, we have Doge, and this was kind of a play on the Dow Jones. Very funny, very clean, normie-friendly logo of the 3 Shiba Inu dogs. And this is another index coin similar to SPX 6900. I do think I'm going to rank it below SPX, just because the first mover in that narrative, which is like the indices, SPX, Dow Jones, people do favor the one that went first, even though I do think the Doge has a better logo and a very big community. I think it's a very good meme. I'm going to put it A tier, but I'm not going to put it S tier like SPX 6900. It is very good though. Very, very good. Let's go. Yeah, right there. Next we have Rug. So Cupsy is kind of like the bullish mascot of Pump.Fun, and Rug is kind of like a play that community members created because like so many people get rugged. It's kind of like satire. Like actually the logo of Pump.Fun is a rug. So I actually really like it. It's like 140 market cap. And because it has so much potential, I'm going to put this in the A tier. Very good. Next up, we have Trash Coin. Trash Coin is good in my opinion. I can just like see this on like a news anchor saying Trash Coin surges to billions. And it's like, it's kind of like Fart Coin. It's funny because it's so stupid and bad that when it pumps, it's even funnier. The higher it goes, the funnier it gets. So Trash Coin, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Very good meme. I'm gonna go A tier on Trash Coin as well. Next, we have Fight. Now, I gotta be honest, guys. I'm not buying another single thing that the Trump family launches. Unless it's like super early for some reason, and there's not like an insider coin like the rest of them. Fight Coin, Trump Coin is absolutely over. They're still vesting. A lot of people made life-changing money on this. Good for them, but at this point, I would not touch it, honestly. Next up, we have Turbo the Toad. At one point, this was a great meme. There was a lot of hype. The community was growing. I think it's kind of on a downtrend, to be honest. I could be wrong. I never see the Turbo community rating or anything, but I'd love to be proven wrong on this. Essentially, they said that this was the first AI-created meme. Some guy made this, in a very small budget, and this went to crazy numbers, was listed on Coinbase. But in my opinion, I don't like it that much. I think it's a C tier meme. I would love to be proven wrong. So we'll see about that. Next, we have Useless Coin. And this is one of the top meme coins on the Bonk eco. And it's very kind of artificially pumped by the team at Bonk, in my opinion. But sometimes the artificial liquidity is bullish. And being that they're trying hard to pump this coin to get people into their launch pad, I'm pretty bullish on it. I'm going to say it's an A tier meme. But I personally wouldn't buy it because, it does rely heavily on, the Bonk team to pump it and show it, in my opinion. So I'm going to pass on it. Next up, we have Whiff, Dog Whiff Hat. And this is one of the first meme coins on Solana. It's really what created, one of the memes that really brought a lot of people to meme coin trading on Solana. I think you got to give Whiff an A. It's one of the best memes. I personally wouldn't buy it, but I understand why people love it. It does have a cult community. Made people a lot of money. It's one of the most important meme coins. I'm going to go A tier on Whiff. Next, we have XBT. XBT is a pretty good meme coin. So essentially, the X on BT is because like when you have like international coin listings, like ISO standards, for different countries, they want to put like a certain, thing for the currency. So they'll add X. So XBT is kind of like Bitcoin, but it's like an international standard. And the narrative is, one XBT equals one Bitcoin. It's kind of funny. I do like it. It does have a big community. I don't think it's super memetic. It's not one of my favorite memes, but I think it has potential because it's a very low market cap and has a ton of holders. They have a very good, username on X and the good influencers, talking about it. I'm going to go top of B tier on XBT. I don't love it, but I understand why. It could definitely pump hard, honestly. Next up, we have Wojak on ETH. Now, this is an OG 4chan meme. I think this one honestly should be much higher than it was. It just never got crazy traction. In my opinion, this should be $1 billion meme, but the chart and communities say otherwise. It just hasn't got a lot of traction. I like Wojak. I'm going to put it as an A. I would love to see like a stronger community around it, but I think this could go big, if the right people start talking about it. So yeah, guys, that's my tier list. A lot of coins. This is pretty long, but let me know if you think there's any coins that should be added or moved or positions changed. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And until my next video, I'll see you then. And if you guys are interested in a place to trade and to get my calls on future picks, go ahead. I'll drop a link to the Pump Screener Discord in the description below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.